Peace be with you and welcome back to my channel for another video. I thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and also hitting the notifications button so that you are alerted every time I have new content and if my channel resonates with you. So with that being said, I always start my channels out with a short intro about how my channel works. I have the gift of channeling direct messages from spirit, the great divine, the great I am, whatever you call God, the all-knowing, uh, divine God, right? The God above all gods. So with that being said, that is my gift and I share it here on a platform for the world to see. So again, if this channel resonates with you, again, I say welcome and peace be with you. So let's get into the message. Today, the message is to use the moon wisely, to purge things about ourselves that need to go, right? Lovingly being in situations where we are asking God to give us something that we know we need. And in order to get those things, we have to make room for it. You know, this topic was actually inspired by a conversation that I had this morning with somebody. And if he's listening, shout out to you. Yeah, so talking about how we ask for something and then the universe just starts to move things instantly out of our lives. And then we go through the upheaval within ourselves because now we realize what those situations are parts of ourselves that also need to go. Could be resentment, just giving you characteristics, anger, codependency, whatever went with what needs to go. And only we know that internally, only you know that what that is. So, in the meantime, you've prayed for what you wanted, and now the universe starts to move. So, in the meantime and in between time, the universe is also working on you to take away things that no longer are going to help you with what it is you're asking for. So, you have to go through a purge, right? And then retrograde helps us out with that because retrograde is a constant pop quiz. Retrograde is a constant pop quiz that reminds you of all the things that you need to no longer pick up again. Now, let's say you've gotten the victory over those things because that is the goal. Certain things just don't bother you anymore, right? You get a pop quiz, you got to pass your test because it's how you react to the situation that really determines whether or not you've released whatever the situation is, person, place, or thing. Again, you only know that, only you know that. Take what resonates with you here from this channel and leave what does not. Don't force any messages from spirit to your situation, okay? That is a carnal law amongst the spirit realm and people who understand empaths, right? And psychics and clairvoyants, and the list goes on. So, with that being said, using the moon, we are leaving a beautiful judgment time with Libra this past October and then moved into Scorpio. Lot of power, lot of death and rebirth needed to take place, a lot of checking of the ego, a lot of checking of, self-absorbed tendencies and a whole bunch of energies, right? I'm just using things loosely and figuratively based on what we feel we need to let go of. And yeah, so it's interesting, be mindful when you're putting out that petition that everything on the inside of you is now vibrating at that level in order to maintain that level of joy, happiness, whatever you're reaching higher for. And again, I said this topic was inspired by somebody that I talked to this morning for a brief moment. And I joked around about a time when I had said a prayer. I didn't even speak it out loud. I just kind of said it within myself. I was like, you know what? I'm really ready to start moving on things that I know I need to do. I need to give birth to this. I need to let the world know that this is what it is. I'm here and this is what it is, right? So that was the prayer that I silently spoke in my spirit. The very next day, it seems as though the universe got like on it. The universe rushed to me. The universe took a whole bunch of stuff out. Like I'm talking the car left, the job, the relationships, the whatever didn't need to be in that new manifestation based on my path being cleared in order to walk my rightful path. Because on your rightful path, your yoke is light. There are no problems. There is no sickness. There is no diseases. That path is the divine path. It's perfect. So you always have everything you need, money wise, food wise, everything that you need to get through life and sustain yourself. You have that, right? It's when you're on the other path, the one that you're asking, hey, how did I get here? I need to lovingly guide myself back to the right path. It's that path that needs to go, the old one, or the one that, you were on either sometimes for a moment. All paths are not bad. Some paths are karmic. Some paths are just teaching us a lesson. It's all good, right? So wherever you're at in your evolution, the moon right now is a beautiful time. It is not normal, okay? We've not lived, I don't believe, and I have to check the facts on this. Please forgive me. Because I take in a lot of information and sometimes it all runs together. Okay. With that being said, we're under a powerful moon. One of the best ones, I believe, either of the decade or the century. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. Nevertheless, we're under a powerful moon. We are moving out of Libra, out of Scorpio. So Libra was the judgment and karma. Scorpio was the death, the rebirth, and transformation. So all of you had to die, go through stuff. Some of us went through a literal death. And now the transformation, right? What am I transforming myself into now that I'm no longer harboring those kinds of mindsets, thoughts, characteristics, sicknesses, diseases? I've taken that, and the universe is carrying me now to my rightful place. Because remember, that's what I asked for. Transforming into that. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that taste like? Right? So all my senses are involved, all my senses that I have. And the universe is carrying me. So coming out of transformation, now going into this moon, very powerful under the sign of Taurus. Scorpio's polarity, Scorpio's opposite. Taurus, patience, right? A lot of us have transformed into patience. Being very, very patient. How can you transform into being patience? You're the breathing word of patience and what that embodies. That is what you give off in all of your situations. Why? Because the universe has taught you that. And that is something new that you're now taking with you, right? So patience. Under the sign of Taurus, possessions and wealth. That means any and everything that we've been asking for. Some of us been asking our whole lives, right? The universe is saying everything that was stolen from you, I'm going to return it to you times 10. Just imagine that for everybody, including yourself on the planet, right? We're not going to have there's no problems. Where's the problems? It's only solutions. Because this is where we're at. This is what will happen, right? So under the new moon, we're taking full advantage of, again, continuing to clean house. Some of us literally cleaning house. Making space for what it is that we want. So if you're in, I'm just going to use as an example, because we've been under that energy of the twin flame, soul flame, divine flame, for people that are in toxic relationships that either they've outgrown or no longer serve them, right? In your literal space. If you have underwear from your ex-man, how are you making room for the new man? Clear your space, burn it, throw anything that went with anything old, get rid of it. Because anything that you're still holding on to, you're still attached to. It's impossible to ask for something new and then I'm taking all my old ideas, my old personality, my old way of thinking, my skepticism, because things have not worked out in the past. I'm still there in the past resolving those issues. So how can I be present? How can I be current? How can I be on this day, in this moment, at this time? Absolutely impossible. So I encourage you to come forward. Bring your power with you. Dump up the stuff that you don't need. Trust that the universe is literally carrying you. Trust that the universe is literally carrying you. What does that look like? And also trust that the universe is taking your trash, everything that you don't need, and you're literally what do you say? Expunging that. Even if that's a word, expunging that into the universe to get rid of your trash. Everything that no longer serves you. So one has to be mindful. Oftentimes, the universe will snatch everything away just to clear the slate. And you like, damn, really? Yes. Trust the process. Allow the universe to carry you. So the moment you feel yourself drifting off into maybe something that is an old way of thinking, you lovingly wrap your arms around yourself. If you have to do that mentally or literally, wrap your arms around yourself and guide yourself right back to where you're supposed to be. That's it. Do that as often as possible. So if I wake up every day and you say, you know what? I got some new obsessions. I'm going to compulsively, obsessively, deliberately just focus on all things positive. That's my new addiction. Who's going to tell me not to? I can do what I want because the universe is co-creating with me. So I needn't pick up anything that no longer serves me anymore. And if I find myself doing that out of habit, I just lovingly guide myself back. I just pay attention to what I'm doing. And now I'm addicted now to this new way of living. So really, really, unless I'm really committed to going back to something that's no longer good, which is why I don't see anybody in their right mind would do that. Unless I'm really committed to that, I'm now addicted to this new way of living, which is a blessing. And then you vibrate like, no, I can't let something that no longer serves me or that's not even real change this great vibration. I want to protect this energy, right? And so then we all do that. Everybody does that. Imagine what it looks like with everybody doing that. This is how you co-create. It's a beautiful game of giving and receiving, you know? So that's the way it works. So that is what the universe is saying. That is what spirit is saying. Go forth, be great. Again, hey, peace be with you because this is the way that God intended. Truly and honestly. Happy full moon.